Hello, today is January 20th, Thursday. Our message is the two main keys to positive changes in my life are self-approval and self-acceptance. I know these qualities work to make my life the best it can be. And today is also marks the first day of the sign of Aquarius, the water bearer. So happy birthday to all Aquarians out there. Today is the first day of the Aquarius season. So a little bit about Aquarius. It's ruled by the planet Uranus. Its primary color is turquoise. Wednesday is its lucky day. And large cities are the best places for success. Aquarius rules the 11th house of the zodiac, governing direction. So this spread is based on the essential qualities of Aquarius: independent, original, lively, friendly, unpredictable, inventive, and far-sighted. We're going to cast the cards in the form of rippling water. So the top half of the symbol or glyph of Aquarius. So we're going to go ahead and do that. It's 7. I'm sticking with my Chakra Organites by Michelle Wingham Bell. I really love the energy. And if you've been watching, 2 days ago was the Kundalini spread when I took these out to, use each sphere for the symbolism of that spread. And it took, I want to say, 5 different videos before I got the one posted. And so I heard the message loud and clear. And I'm going to keep doing the readings from the book, but when there's a reading that I'm not really called to do, I will do an energy check based off the Kundalini spread, and I will do a check on our chakras and see what needs clearing, or how we're doing with our energy flow. So let's get started with the qualities of Aquarius. So, what ties must be cut free? We have the Ace of Pentacles. So something that needs to be cut free is this waiting for things to maybe come in. So this is, Spirit is handing you. It's the hand of Spirit handing you coin, handing you all material goods, all resources that you need, very grounded, earthly energy, which is interesting because we're starting here at the root, with the root chakra sphere. So that's what's being shown to you. And if the question though was what ties must be cut free, is that there's a part of you that is waiting for this hand. And we're reminded that the hand is always there. It's always being offered to us. But we also need to keep our expectations in check. We can't, people confuse manifesting what they want with I'm going to ask for something and I'm going to sit and wait for it to fall from the sky. You have to love what you do and enjoy the life that you're living today. You need to maintain a present state of being, and that is how the universe flows, and its energy moves around, right? Like the ripple of the water. It's how it's the ebb and the flow if we maintain our presence in the moment. And so this is saying we need to cut ties. What we must cut to be free is this sort of waiting for the hand. The hand is always there. You need to wait. Stop waiting, or stop setting your expectations as someone else or something that's going to just magically come and be offered to you without, you putting in the work towards it, or at the least just being very grateful and in gratitude to what you currently have. So we need to cut this tie to the material, to the things, because we have access to it, but we need to set realistic sort of standards and expectations around that. And this is showing that we need to cut this to be free. We need to cut that expectation. I'm getting one other smaller message, and that is that what needs to be cut is spending. So there needs to be, as we enter Aquarius season, maybe be more mindful and more practical about where you spend your money. And so be really mindful. We're still in January. You know, the month, I think, is going by super fast. It's already January 20th, but we're still in the first month of 2022. And so this is also a reminder for some that really be mindful of your expenses, what you're spending money on, you know, maybe, and really to think about that, so you're not just frivolously spending on like new things and more things. So that is a message that is also coming in. What is my most original quality? The Seven of Pentacles. So your most original quality is, there's a few things. One is, you know, you're grounded. You're definitely realistic. You're patient. You're loyal. You persevere. You have a lot of this really earth energy that is original to you. And it's original because it also possesses a sprinkling, a dose of mischievousness. So the Seven of Pentacles, for all of its work that, you know, that they've done, for all of the, you know, tending to their garden, there's a little impatience there, a little wanting to, you know, they're really taking care of this, but, you know, there's one over here on the loose, and the questions posed, like, did they prematurely pluck it from their pentacle bush here, or did they forget it? Right? So it's one of these. So your most original quality is that you are so grounded and so realistic and just really committed and loyal, hardworking, you know, patient. And yet there's this little bit of the, you know, amongst all of that, something that makes it unique is that you have this, you possess this little bit of carelessness, a little, but it's small. So it just gives you that, it just softens your edges so that you're not so strict in, you know, in like the linear, I have to do this and take care of all this. There's like a little bit of that unique spin that makes it so that you can, you know, look away for a second from the linear path. And that's really a great quality to possess. What brings joy to my life? The Lover's card. So I would say that, you know, aside from, you know, taking this in a literal sense and say like sex brings you great joy to your life, it really just is I mean, yes, that is probably true for many of you, but there's also a larger joy that you get from your relationships, your family, your loved ones, your partnerships, and from yourself. A very, you know, there are two naked bodies represented here, and they're on this cusp. They're not holding hands, but they're facing each other. There's a vulnerability to that emotion that is put front and center. And what brings you joy in your life is that free feeling of being loved, being in love, and, you know, being someone that is, you know, so you're loved and you're in love, and it, you know, it's with those around you, and that brings a lot of joy to your life, as well as personal love and being open enough to be vulnerable and open, you know, to your emotions that way. And that it's here with the solar plexus is really nice, and it's a really nice sort of telling way of how you know, that fire in your belly really resides within you. And so that it's really seeped in love really allows that creativity and passion to flow through you, which, you know, it's all part of this joy that you feel in life. Why are relationships so important? And now we're at the center, at our heart space, and these qualities of Aquarius that we're seeing. Why are relationships so important? You got the 10 of Cups. It's like the happiest card in the tarot. It's, you know, it's that full completion of all the parts that you need, you know, to, you know, your joy is in this love card. And why relationships are so important to you, that is where you derive your joy, at the center of who you are in your heart. It is all about the people you know, you keep company with, your family, your friends. and yourself, this love. And so that is why the relationships are so important, because they really are what feed your soul, what feed your heart. Are these relationships that you've cultivated, and that so I'm getting this message, when we're back here, what ties must be cut free. I'm getting this message of, this money here that's being spent on all these things. Now it doesn't really seem like it's for you personally, but like it's really spoiling those around you, really spoiling your loved ones. And so you still that needs to be cut a little bit, because your family doesn't need you to do all those things, or your friends. They're going to love you anyway. That's regardless of, what you're doing, but you are a provider, which is that quality of yours, that you're providing, and you're hardworking, you don't take shortcuts. And like I said, there's a little bit of that, maybe you miss a thing or two every now and then, a detail here and there, but it's so minuscule to all the work that you put in. And that in the center here, it is, relationships are so important to you, because they are what fuel they're your joy. They're that center. They're in your heart. Now, why is unpredictability a good thing? King of Swords. So unpredictability is a good thing, because when we get to be, the King of Swords he's at his throne. He is, he's like very, very decisive. You know how we had this, Seven of Pentacles, right? There's nothing around that's going to miss a step or miss anything. He's not going to do anything at all frivolously. He is decisive. He will cut things out that are not needed immediately. Like he would cut out any spending that wasn't practical, right? He does not do things by chance or by accident. He's thought everything through. He is very clear on what needs to be done, the path he needs to take to get there, and he's going to do it. So why, is unpredictability a good thing? Because if you get too in this space, then you miss some of this messiness of the emotions, right? The looking away from something. This card shows this is the opposite of unpredictability. He has mapped everything out, and he is stern about it. This is our throat chakra. And how he communicates, he is so decisive and so cutthroat about things that he's not taking into account emotions and feelings and desires and passion at all. He's just all in his head. So unpredictability is a good thing, because you want to be in this heart space of like this 10 of Cups and this Lover's card of finding the joy in relationships with others. And that includes the messy parts of the relationships that we have, the tears that we shed, the anger that we have, I wouldn't say jealousy or envy. Those are not the best emotions, but they're all part of the human experience. And so unpredictability is a good thing, because you wouldn't want to miss that. And we would if we all just lived in this King of Swords, and if that's what we let through our throat and how we communicate. But that's not who we are. And so I should say who you are. As we're doing this reading, you function from this very emotional, balanced state of compassion and empathy, and just really reverence for everybody and all those around you, your community, and there's some lightheartedness here as well. So how does my inventiveness serve me? Ooh, let's see what we have for inventiveness. Oh, Three of Pentacles. And this is our third eye. So that's really cool. So inventiveness, where does that creativity, we said it, where does it rise from? It's in the sacral and the solar, for example. That's where our innovations and our ideas really spark from. And yours, really, they serve you because they're rooted in this wanting to work hard, to persevere, to have stability, but it really functions on love, right? Sex, love, romance, passion, all of those really are what serve your inventiveness. And this Three of Pentacles is, again, there's a family. It's about, the Three of Pentacles is all about forming a framework, a foundation, a framework from where to build this family. So if you were to see through your third eye, you would see that is, the inventiveness that really serves you is maintaining that focus on your loved ones, on your community, your family, your friends, yourself, maintaining yourself, really well from your whole self, your whole body, and really being in your heart, in your center, not being afraid of that, being vulnerable to all of those feelings. And how that manifests is through this knowing that what you're working for, what you're maybe even spending a little too much money on, and what you're not going to, and what makes you a little, unpredictable, and maybe how you bring things to fruition. At the core of that, the inventiveness that serves you is um, that focus on foundation of building from a solid framework. And you're building family, community, work, health. All of that is being built from a really solid foundation and framework that really for you comes from this heart space. And what is my vision for the future? Let's see what comes through here. Oh, got the death card. What is your vision for the future is a continual rebirth. We started at the beginning here with what ties must be cut free, and you had this offer, right? It was like, we need to cut maybe this sort of little spending here and there. At the opposite end, at the end here, what is your vision? This death card symbolizes what's on the horizon. Things are cyclical, and you're very aware of that. So, there is, one of those traits, right, of Aquarius is this far-sighted vision. There's, independence, there's originality, and this unpredictable way of being. And so the death card represents that. It represents this things, we are aware that things are going to end, but then that's just an opportunity for things to be reborn. Over here, when we have these 7 of Pentacles, and we're not, sure, this one over here, did he pick it too early? Is he, did he forget it and he needs to get it in there? Whatever that is, and this, all of this message put together really speaks to this total resolve that comes from being in your heart space, that you're aware things will end, and for you it's just an opportunity, to use that sort of that Aquarian spirit and start over and invent something new and think of a different way to do it and be original. You're continually that death to the norm, or the societal norm, or the death of the predictability, right? To this very knowing, very level-headed, sort of energy that is already knows what's going to happen, and everything is laid out. You're not afraid of things ending, because you see them as a possibility for a rebirth and to do something new and better in a new way, in a new inventive way, in a more original way, in a more lively way. And that is, your ultimate vision for the future, is that death is not something that you fear, because you are living fully in this moment. You are present, you are living in all of your emotions, seated, good, bad, all of them, and there's no fear. So death is just an opportunity to do things over and birth new frameworks, new foundations from where to really take off and continually build this legacy of family and love and community. And that, my friends, is our Qualities of Aquarius spread. I will see you all tomorrow, January 21st.